Hey, hey, hey. I'm not sure if I'm live or not, but I should be live and everybody should be able to see me. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. Let me know. Probably no one here yet. Just gonna let everyone fan in before I really get started. Hey, oh, hello. We already have some people. Uh, so I don't know. I'm seeing some comments already, but it's not saying any viewers, so I'm not really sure. It might be a little delayed, but hey, so I'll just let everyone get in. I know, surprise live stream. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. And yeah, just give it a few minutes before uh, we talk about what it says in the title. So just making sure everything's set up. Sorry, I'm just setting up some stuff, making sure everything's working. This is still getting used to this whole streaming thing, and I still don't know what I'm doing, but whatever. So hopefully this goes okay. Still learning as always. But yeah, I see we have 3 viewers. I guess now it's telling me I got 3. So thank you all. I'm sure people come and go all the time on these streams. That's cool. Um, so hopefully everyone who's here. I know this was like unannounced, so uh, I just don't want to, let people. I don't want to start without maybe someone giving people the chance to come in. I'm just rambling at this point. And but yeah, just the main thing for today, we'll be talking about just a whole lot of new figures that have come out that I feel like I could have made a video about this stuff, but I don't know. I thought it'd be cooler to do it on a stream because that gives me kind of a chance to talk to you all as well, and I can kind of just ramble and we could just go through these figures and yeah. Um, and I was actually planning on doing it a bit earlier, but then you know other things happen, and I'm quite lucky because the main thing, of course, is the SH MonsterArts figure, which we're gonna get to. That like was announced yesterday, so it's actually kind of a good thing I waited till today to do the stream, or at least at this point. So yeah, lots of cool things to talk about. Really, just talking about Godzilla figures that I wanted to talk to you all about, and then this time, hey, I'm always down for questions and whatever you all want to talk about or discuss. Um, so yeah, hanging out, chilling, talking about Godzilla figures. That's really the plan. So should be cool. I hope so. I don't know. With these streams, I never know. It is fun though. I always like talking to you all, and I haven't done this in a long, 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 long time. Like I don't remember the last time I did well, in YouTube time. I mean, I think it was like a year ago, more than a year ago. I did a live stream. Um, so it's been a while. I mean, that's quite a long time. So again, I'm still figuring these things out. I have no idea what I'm really doing. Um, but hey, as long as you all are interested in what I'm talking about, hey, I'll keep making stuff. So anyway, I think that's about that's quite enough time now. So I'm just gonna really talk about the thing. Obviously, it's in the thumbnail, so I'm gonna talk about it first, and that is the new SH MonsterArts Godzilla Final Wars figure. This was actually announced a few months ago in like a teaser image. Now I don't know if it was ever like an official statement. They just showed a teaser image, and there was the new SH MonsterArts Final Wars Gigan figure, right? So it was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was known, but it was kind of like they were building up to the fact that we were gonna get a Final Wars Godzilla to complement this Final Wars Gigan, I guess. I'm not really sure, But it kind of, that preview image came out, and then we didn't really hear anything else about it. And I think after that they did the Godzilla Ultima figure, the Jet Jaguar, and also Hedorah, which I'm also going to talk about the SH Monsters Hedorah, but probably later. And so I almost kind of thought they just either forgot about it, or it was like I don't know, it was like a prototype that they weren't really going to make or something like that. I almost kind of thought, man, this thing is never gonna come out. But yesterday we got our first look at it. So yeah. I think some people left. Who knows? Hey, I'm here, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. So yeah. Nah, people come and go all the time. It's cool. It's always cool. So I don't know. I'm still figuring out all the Streamlabs stuff. So yeah. But anyway, all right. Enough about me rambling. Let's just get to it. So yeah. So like, it's the new like SH MonsterArts Godzilla Final Wars figure, and it looks, I mean, you can see it looks pretty awesome. Like, it's the quality of an SH MonsterArts figure, so I can never say it's going to look terrible. Some of their figures have been, you know, better than others, but you can generally say SH MonsterArts figures are pretty good. And this is definitely, I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. I don't think the Final Wars design is so complicated. You can't really mess it up. Well, I guess Playmates Toys did do kind of not a good job with that one. But like, the Final Wars design isn't super complicated, you know. You can't really mess it up too much, I would assume. But yeah, you know, taking there's this other great shot of him alongside their Gigan, and looks awesome. The sculpt is really well done. Yeah, like, it looks really good. Like, it looks just like the suit, as you'd expect. That's that SH MonsterArts quality, and everything just looks good. Looks like there's quite a bit of posability on him. I don't know if there's been any other pictures revealed. This is like the main ones that we have, so I don't know. There is like one kind of main shot of him. So he looks like he's going to be quite posable. Now, okay, always keep in mind that this is SH MonsterArts, their prototypes. Like, we all know this. Like, it looks great now. When it finally comes out, or when you get an actual look at it, you know, it could look different. Like, if you remember the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2002, the prototype pictures looked amazing, but then in real life, the eyes were kind of wonky. I really hope they don't screw up the eyes on this one, because it looks good. It looks really good, but the eyes could be wonky, or the posability. I don't know. SH MonsterArts, they have this tendency to have really great sculpts, but then there's like little details that they mess up or don't do right. I don't know. That kind of ends up worsening the figure. That's why I preferred NECA, because NECA would not do it perfectly, obviously, but you could overall expect a good figure that generally all the details would be there. Whereas like SH MonsterArts, you have a higher standard. It's a more expensive figure anyway. You expect all of it to look good. I mean, I don't know, right? Maybe that's just my opinion, but I definitely think if you're gonna pay, well, I don't know, this one's gonna be probably in the 60, 70 US dollar range, maybe more. You expect a good figure. So, but it looks good. It looks great. I think that it's what we wanted. I can't say that it doesn't look bad. However, I'm always hesitant because, well, it's a prototype. These are like the little product images they give you. These are, you know, what they want you to see. It's all promotional art. You know, you might want to wait until you see, like, sometimes at toy fairs or conventions, they have the actual figure and someone takes pictures of it and we can see it, what it actually looks like. Because right now, this is kind of, is it Bandai or Tamashii Nations? Like, this is all marketing, essentially. Like, they just want you to get excited about the figure, but we don't know what it really looks like until we see it more in person. Obviously not like in person, but, you know, away from their marketing images. Anyway, but it's cool, and it's awesome that it's happening. Maybe we'll get that Godzilla 98 SH Monster Arts figure. I think Tamashii Nations was saying they might do a poll or something for Godzilla 98, if I remember right. And now, could you imagine getting your SH Monster Arts Godzilla Final Wars figure and your Godzilla 98 SH Monster Arts figure? That would be super awesome. And Toho owns the rights to Zilla. It's not like a licensing issue. It's just that it's, do they want to do it? Do they want to? Because these figures take money to create and then to sell and distribute. I get that, but I do think that like Godzilla 98 is probably still one of the more famous or infamous forms of Godzilla. He's pretty well known. I feel like that figure would do well. I mean, there are people who like are not Godzilla fans but know of Godzilla 98 more than the original. Like for them, before Legendary's Godzilla, that was the Godzilla they knew. There's still people to this day that think that's Godzilla. They don't, they grew up on Godzilla 98, and I think that figure would do well. And I think it's a great figure to make an SH Monster Arts version of him. And I don't know. Also, like there haven't been many figures of G98 since that film came out, So there was like an Xplus Super Deformed or something like that came out like a year or two ago, if I remember right, which looked pretty nice, but it was like, I want something that more realistically portrays Godzilla 98, not like a super deformed version. And I think Xplus like 20 years ago made a great figure, but that's from like 20 years ago. There's some people on Instagram who have made their own like custom G98 figures that look amazing, but I think it would just be really cool if SH Monster Arts did it. They gave him the proper treatment. I mean, at this point, like the fan base is, I think, pretty okay with Zilla. Like, we've kind of accepted Godzilla 98. Regardless of what you think of the film, I think a lot of fans like the design of the creature. It would just be super cool to have your Final Wars Godzilla versus a Zilla figure, right? Like, that would be super cool for your setups or whatever, for your photography. I don't know, it would just be cool. And so then you could complement that. I don't know, but we'll see. I think next, well, I don't know what the order is of this release. Like, everything is TBC at this point. Probably next year. I think Jet Jaguar has to come out. Godzilla Ultima also, and Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. So there's a bit before, there's a bit of time before this figure probably comes out. Thanks, Big G. Okay. Listen, man, it's your life. You don't have to stick around. You gotta do your business. I don't care. I appreciate you being here. And yeah. And also to everyone who's watching like this on YouTube as like a video. Yeah. Like, also thank you for watching this as well. Like, and all that stuff. But anyway, so in terms of when this figure comes out, at this point everything is TBC. But my guess is, I think one of the last figures that will be coming out is either Mechagodzilla from Legendary, Godzilla vs. Kong, Jet Jaguar. Those come out early next year or the end of this year. I'm gonna say, my theory, speculation, this figure will come out mid next year. Hopefully by then, mid next year. That's my guess. But I don't know, some people know the time schedule better than I do. But hey, look, it's a nice looking figure, and I think that a lot of people can wait that long for this figure. I think that I don't know. SH Monster Arts usually take time anyway. They usually like announce them months in advance. So this is cool, but like you're gonna have to wait a while for this one, because again, there's 3 or 4 other figures that come out before, so I'm not really sure. But it is cool that it's a new figure finally, because SH Monster Arts is kind of infamous for their repaints or their re-releases or whatever, but it's like an actual new figure, and it's from an era that they don't do many figures of, the Millennium era, which is really cool. I'd love to see other non-Godzilla related monsters, like I don't know, King Ghidorah from GMK, or they did Gigan, but like Monster X from Final Wars, that would be pretty cool. Um, did they do? I don't know if they ever did Megaguirus or Orga. I think those could be. I mean, the problem is those are a bit less. They're not as well known. But I think there's fans out there. I mean, I grew up on those kind of films. I think there's a lot of people that grew up on like Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Megagears, who'd love to see a Megagears, who'd love to see an Orga. Um, yeah, and Baragon, that'd be cool. Or did they do a Baragon? I don't remember. But because I know they did GMK, but just Godzilla. They didn't do King Ghidorah, which is a shame because I think they could do a pretty decent GMK King Ghidorah. It's one of my favorite designs for Ghidorah. And so I think that'd be a cool SH MonsterArts figure. Because I feel like they've done already a lot of the Heisei 90s monsters. They've pretty much done all of them at this point. I can't think of what they haven't done yet, because Biollante, Space Godzilla, Destroyer, King Ghidorah, Mothra, Batra, obviously Godzilla, they've done Burning Godzilla, they've done Godzilla Jr., they did Godzilla Jr. when he like absorbs Godzilla's energy and becomes like whatever, Godzilla Rebirth or something like that. They did Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Biollante. They did like 2 versions of that figure in 2 different sizes. I get it, the Heisei era is very popular, I think especially in Japan, but it's just cool to see stuff from other eras. Also the Showa era, they need to do more, because I'd love to see a Showa King Ghidorah, Showa Gigan, give me Mechagodzilla. I think maybe they are doing a Mechagodzilla, I don't know. But there's just so much stuff you could do. Other King Kong, Mechanicong, the Gargantuas, Rodan, Saurus, Mothra. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many classic monsters you could do from the Showa era. I think that'd be great. Anguirus. I know that several years ago, there was another toy brand that did also some figures of like Anguirus and Gigan and Baragon and Mothra, right before SH MonsterArts really took off. I think they were Kyoto. I don't know what the brand was. They're like long out of stock. You probably get them. They're very expensive. But those figures were nice, and they were mainly all Showa era monsters. So I'd love to see more of stuff like that. That's my opinion. Because I think the Heisei era they've done enough. I think they've covered it. They did like 2 different versions of King Ghidorah, which is like a repaint. They could do the rebirth of Mothra films. That'd be cool, like Rainbow Mothra, Death Ghidorah. What is the main King Ghidorah and the third one called? Just King Ghidorah, or like Cretaceous Ghidorah. That would be super cool. So I don't know. That's what I'd like to see. But anyway, that's just my rambling on about SH MonsterArts. And yeah, so the other thing I wanted to talk about that I kind of missed before SH MonsterArts was some of these new Bandai movie monster figures that came out. Well, there's been a lot, but the main ones I want to talk about were some of the ones that were a few weeks ago announced. So like the one that everyone's talking about is the new Godzilla 1991 Bandai figure, which looks nice. I'm not gonna say it doesn't look nice. It's a good sculpt, and compared to like their older Godzilla 90s Bandai figures, I think it is pretty good. And Godzilla 1991 and like Godzilla 1989 are pretty popular suits, so they're quite popular with the fans. So a lot of people are gonna want to get their hands on this for sure. And yeah, for me, like it looks good. Like I'm not gonna say it doesn't look good, but it's not my favorite suit or anything. So I'm kind of like, yeah, like I don't know if I would get this figure for sure. It's not on my wish list, but it's a nice figure, especially for a Bandai movie monster. Well, in general, their figures have gotten better over the years. So I do think it looks quite high quality, and it looks better than anything you would have gotten from like Bandai USA or Bandai Creation. So like I had like a 90s Bandai movie monster figure from like Godzilla 94, but this looks a lot better. So I think Bandai's figures are getting a lot better, and for people who are huge fans of this suit, I think this is awesome. But again, like for me, it's not my favorite suit, so I can't say I'm excited for it. But it looks nice. Like I can't deny the quality is really good on this figure. I don't know how many points of articulation it is. I think it's can't really tell from this picture. I want to say it's the arms and legs. I mean, typical Bandai movie monster figure has like 5 or 6. I mean, you don't really buy it for articulation, right? But you buy this more for like, I guess you can kind of make little movies with it or put it on your collection. I mean, I think these are generally a bit more towards younger audience. I'm not really sure, but it's a nice figure. It looks nice. But the one I'm very much more excited for is what they released for Gamera. And Gamera, who needs probably more love these days than Godzilla, I think. And like I don't know if there was like a special anniversary for Gamera 3, but like the Gamera and Iris Bandai movie monster figures that they unveiled look pretty awesome. Like I think they made these back in the 90s. I know I had one of Gamera 3 or the Gamera 1999. I had a Gamera 99 figure, but in comparison, the quality is not the same. Like this looks nice. Now this is great, and I need a Gamera figure in my collection. So this one I actually kind of have my eye on. And even though like Gamera 99 is not my favorite suit from the High Sea trilogy, but this figure looks really nice. And I want to see other angles of it though, because I think so far I've only seen this picture of it, and from this shot he looks really good. I do want to see other angles of him because I'm not really sure if, you know, it's because sometimes the pictures can be deceptive. Big G, that looks like a suit for me. Oh, you mean the Godzilla 91? Yeah, it definitely looks like a suit. The Godzilla 91 Bandai figure, it looks like it's the suit. So, and even this one, this Gamera one, looks like it's the suit from the film. So Bandai has done some nice work here. But yeah, like I really like to see more stuff for Gamera. So I don't know. I think that he deserves more love. Yeah. Looks like 2016 Gamera. Oh, from the like 50th anniversary short film thing? Is that what you mean? 2016, was that when that came out? That like short film, which everybody thought was supposed to be a new movie, but apparently it was just his like 50th anniversary, so it wasn't like an actual thing. I don't remember exactly why it turned out like that, but anyway. And then the other one, of course, is Iris, who is, for me, Iris is like probably one of the coolest monster villains, if you could say, ever made. I think one of the coolest designs, origins, powers, everything. Very underrated in my opinion. Should have shown up in more films. I think Iris is such a cool design, and I'm really happy that Bandai is making a figure for it because that's super cool. I like what I've seen. I don't know if they did. I think they did one again in '99, but it was never. I never had the Bandai one. I had it wasn't an Xplus, but it was something like an Iris. It was like a, I don't know, it was like a subsidiary of Xplus, one of their brands or something. So it was like a small one. So it was like an 8-inch scale, but it was still a model. It wasn't a figure. But this looks really cool, and I like the way they have his like tentacles and blades, and the sculpt looks really, really nice. So, which is important because like Iris is like a really detailed looking monster compared to like Gamera, like all the different colors and textures and features. He looks very alien, but I think they've done a really good job of capturing the sculpt or the suit or whatever in this figure. I think it looks pretty good, in my opinion, and it's definitely one that I have to kind of consider getting, because also I think Iris is just a really cool monster that I would love to see. Maybe if Gamera ever comes back, they should bring back Iris. I think obviously there are classic foes like Gyaos that would probably come in first, but Iris definitely needs to make a comeback. Maybe if Gamera ever joins the Monsterverse, we'll see. We will see. But yeah. Hey, Gaming Priya. Hello. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Just chilling and talking about monster figures. Typical stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty excited with these figures, and I'm hoping. I don't know. I think a few years ago they also did a Gamera 1995 figure as well. So maybe they'll do a 96. Because for me, my favorite suit is the 1996 Attack of Legion. Is that what the film is called in English? Suit. But that Iris figure looks really nice. I gotta admit, that is a nice looking figure. In general, I love to see more appreciation for Gamera because these days, like Godzilla's had an incredible year, and now it's like poor Gamera hasn't had a film since like 2006. There was that short film in 2016, but after that, nothing really happened. So maybe, hopefully, in the future, more things will happen for Gamera. Maybe the MonsterVerse. You never know, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, super cool stuff. Super cool to see that. And yeah, like, I don't know. I do wonder if they'll do more of the classic, like, figures, like in the Showa Gamera stuff, like Gyaos and Barugon and Zigra and all those other guys. I don't really know their names. I don't know too much about the Showa Gamera films, to be fair. I haven't seen many of them. I've only seen the 90s trilogy. Sorry, I'm a fake Gamera fan. You know, I'm a huge fan of the 90s trilogy. I just never really watched the Showa ones. So I think I've seen the original Gamera film. And I haven't seen the rest. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully everything is working still. But the next one I wanted to talk about, I think this is pretty cool. I'm not always really big on Xplus, but this is kind of neat for an Xplus figure, so I thought I want to talk about it. Is the new Xplus Godzilla for Godzilla the Ride. So if you don't know, in somewhere in Japan, I forget the city, there's like a new Godzilla ride where like I think it's like VR, but there's like a movie basically playing while you're like on a moving, not a roller coaster, but like a moving vehicle, and you're basically flying through this fight scene between Godzilla and King Ghidorah. Now they have new designs, relatively, like they're um, they're kind of inspired by like the legendary, but they're technically new designs that they created, and they're all in CGI. So anyway, point is Xplus is making a figure for this. In fact, Bandai did do their own figures for Godzilla and King Ghidorah from the ride, which they've done before, like for Neon Genesis Godzilla 4D, whatever, Shin Godzilla 4D, Neon Genesis. I don't remember what the ride was called, but they also did special figures for that. So they've done this before. But yeah, like, so they did the Bandai ones, but then Xplus is now making their own version, which looks really nice. Like, now, I don't know if this is the actual figure or the 3D model, because to me it looks really good. Almost too good to be true. If it is the actual figure, it looks amazing. But it does look like the 3D model, I think. I don't really know, to be sure. I'd have to see this in real life. Again, a lot of these photos is what they've released. I don't have any photos of these things in real life that someone took, so you can't, take it with a grain of salt. It looks insane, yeah, but we'll have to see what it actually looks like. But I just think it's cool that they're still going all in on the ride, and I wonder if in the future they'll update it, maybe add other monsters and stuff, because it's not like the thing with the other stuff, like the Godzilla 4D versus Evangelion or whatever it was called. That was like temporary. That was like 2 months or something like that. That was more of an event. But I think the Godzilla ride is supposed to be more permanent, kind of like Jurassic Park the ride, So if it is supposed to be a more permanent attraction and stuff, I think it'd be cool if they add in other monsters or events, or they update it with new technology. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. But I think that would be cool. Yeah, and the figure itself looks awesome. I think that it's quite big too. So it's a good size Xplus figure. The detail is great. It's Xplus, so it'll definitely run you up definitely a couple $100 for sure. right? Usually $200 range, I think, for a figure. I'm not exactly sure how big it is. But it's a fairly decent size, um, but it looks nice. And I don't know if it's supposed to be some kind of exclusive that you can only get on the ride. I think it should be available everywhere. So yeah, but it looks nice. It does look really really nice, and I think that um, maybe they'll do the King Ghidorah. I don't know. I haven't seen that yet. We know there is a King Ghidorah, so maybe they'll do that one next. But it's overall it's a nice figure statue with X Plus. I'm never really sure what to call them. They had some other stuff announced too. I think they're doing a Gamera, they're doing like a Mechagodzilla. But I picked this one to talk about just because I thought it was something different, something interesting, because it's not just a an existing monster, but it's something, well, technically, it's a new design for Godzilla. So, and it's from a ride. It's not even from a movie. But it is a cool design. Some people said that if Toho goes back to making like Godzilla films, they should use a design like this um, for like a new movie. And I think it's a pretty good design. My only thing with it is a little too much, and it's probably on purpose, but I feel like it's a little too much reminiscent of a guy in a suit, but still CGI. And I'm more of a fan of like, if you're gonna do like make it look like a guy in a suit, then use a suit. If you're gonna use CGI, then it should look like more like an actual animal that isn't just you know what I mean? So like I feel like they tried to make it look like a guy in a suit, but also make it look CGI at the same time, which kind of doesn't really work in my opinion. At least in this case, I did design. He's a little bit too much upright and too thicker shoulders like a human, you know, compared to like legendary Godzilla that kind of slouches over like an actual, more realistically like an animal would, like of that body structure. I don't know, but it is a nice design. It is a very nice design, and yeah, maybe Toho will do something with it, or maybe if they do in the future decide to make new Godzilla films, they're gonna do a whole new design. But we'll just have to wait and see. And then the one of the last big things was all the new Hedorah figures, right? It's like Hedorah's 50th anniversary. There was a huge event for it for Godzilla Day. There was like a Godzilla versus Hedorah short film, which was pretty cool, by the way. I don't know if they took it down because I can't find the original video, but I did watch it, and the short was pretty cool. And it was like Godzilla Final Wars versus Hedorah Final Wars. It was like a, now I don't know if for some reason it was only supposed to be for Godzilla Day, and that's why they took it down, which is a pity because it was pretty cool. But anyway, so there was announced the SH MonsterArts Hedorah figure, which I think is a pretty interesting idea because, well, it's Hedorah, so it is like that's kind of really tricky to do for a posable figure. But hey, they're going for it, and it's the 50th anniversary. They kind of want to cash in, I guess. But it looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Hedorah is not like my favorite character or anything, but I think he's a really, or it is a really unique monster. I like the concept of it, how he can like transform and stuff. The movie itself is very, very silly, but the monster design and concept is pretty cool. It's not my favorite though, um, but the toy looks pretty nice. I mean, there was a, I'm not sure where this picture came from, but they got, I think it was like at the event or something. The figure does look pretty good. I don't know. I'm not really sure how posable he can really be in an SH MonsterArts form because there's probably a lot of pieces and stuff because he's not like a solid being, so to speak. He's like a bunch of, he's walking sludge, right? Pretty much. So it's not like posing his arm. He's not like a Godzilla that moves his arms up and down. He's more like a sludge that walks. I don't know, but it's a good looking figure. I mean, it's an SH MonsterArts figure, so you know the quality is for sure there. And then the other thing was like they had these new plush figures. I think they're gonna sell them on the Godzilla store, if I'm correct, of Hedorah. So they're doing this whole Hedorah big event thing, and that's because of the 50th anniversary. Though apparently next year is going to be the 50th anniversary of Gigan, so that is kind of cool that we're gonna get Gigan next year. And I'm not really sure if there's going to be also a huge event or what they're going to do for Gigan, but he's like one of my favorites. So um, I think he deserves more love. Maybe he was almost supposed to be in King of the Monsters, or in like the concept art for King of the Monsters, he actually shows up. So I'm not sure how big a role he was supposed to play, but I think Gigan definitely deserves to show up in the MonsterVerse. He's one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite villains, up there with like Destroyer and Space Godzilla. Gigan is one of my favorites, and his Final Wars design is amazing, for sure. Like, I think that's definitely like, even though Gigan gets kind of a rap because like he's such a, I mean, his Final Wars design is awesome, especially the second form with the chainsaws, which almost looks a little too much, a little too silly, but I think it's super cool. And Gigan is one of my favorites, and he actually is quite a tough opponent for Godzilla. Well, maybe not in Final Wars, but in the original films, Gigan really like beats up Godzilla a lot. So I do think that it would be so cool to see Gigan in the MonsterVerse. Not really sure how they would do it in terms of his origin, if he's like some kind of Titan or he's an alien cyborg. I'm not really sure. I think he can kind of do anything at this point, right? I don't know. But I do think that he's a really cool design, and I'm excited to see what they do with him next year. Yeah. So I do think that there's a lot they could do next year for, but like, I mean, they already have the Final Wars Gigan, SH MonsterArts re-released. I mean, they've already had a lot of figures of Gigan, so don't really know what they. Oh, maybe an SH MonsterArts Gigan from Gigan, but from like Godzilla vs Gigan 1972, and probably a new Bandai Movie Monsters Gigan figure. That's probably what they're gonna do. So, but I don't know. I think it will be a cool event, and I I don't know. I would just love to see some new figures. But there's already a lot of figures of Gigan, right? So it's kind of like, how much more can you really do except Gigan 1972? So yeah, or plushies. I guess they would do kind of what they did with the Hedorah event, because they did a lot of stuff. They did like T-shirts and graphics and all kinds of stuff. So like stuff like that, but nothing that like, you know, nothing super crazy. Because it's Hedorah on its Gigan, right? I guess every year they're gonna do this now. I'm not really sure if it's gonna be a yearly thing or not, but I don't know. I think it's cool that they did that, and I'm thinking for Gigan. I mean, like, I mainly just want to see Gigan in a new movie, but I guess new collectibles or stuff like that would be cool. More than anything else, I just want to see him in a new film. If it was either from Toho or from Legendary, do I think he would work in a Legendary MonsterVerse film? So, yeah, I don't know. I think that it would be pretty cool in my opinion. Um, but yeah, the last thing I guess would just be just that. What am I doing? Sorry. Wanted to show one last thing. Still never know what I'm doing when I'm streaming. Hopefully, I don't get into too many problems. Showing, no, not problems, but like, so I know I'm just checking out Kaiju News Outlet, and there's these awesome Bandai Movie Monster figures that are coming out. It looks like it's Hedorah, Mechagodzilla, and Gorosaurus. Because you know that they're gonna do a Hedorah, of course, as well. And the Hedorah, The Gorosaurus looks nice, I think. I wonder if I can open it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And let's see how the Mechagodzilla is. I mean, I have a Mechagodzilla. I have a Bandai Creation Mechagodzilla, so it kind of looks exactly the same. I used to have a Bandai Creation Hedorah, in fact. Um, so I mean, they look good. I think the Gorosaurus looks really nice, actually. Playmates is doing their own Gorosaurus, which actually doesn't look too bad. So yeah. Oh yeah. Next season of Ultraman is coming out very very soon. So hopefully, I'm really hoping there's not something on here that's gonna get me in trouble. Sometimes there is. Here's some of the other Xplus that were gonna come out, and yeah, of course, the new movie monsters. Yeah, like I'm trying to find, and there was some other stuff for Hedorah that was released. Cool collectibles and stuff. So, some nice shirts for the 50th. Yeah, I don't know. I think if they do something for Gigan, I would like to see some merch, but more than anything else, just like give my boy, let him be in a film. That's really what I want for Gigan. Um, yeah. I think so. But anyway, that's the main thing. Those are the main figures and stuff I wanted to talk about and look at. Yeah, I think obviously the big news is the SH MonsterArts Final Wars figure. And then obviously all these new Hedorah figures for the new Hedorah event. I'm really hoping that they do something really cool for Gigan next year. I'd love to see new figures, but more than anything else, I just want to see him in a movie. And I mean, there's been so many figures of Gigan for Final Wars Gigan. I don't really know what they would do. I guess Gigan 1972. Has Gigan shown up in anything else? Not really. Um, but you know, they'll find a way because they also want to sell these toys, right? They'll find something to sell us. So I don't know. It'll be cool, I guess. But anyway, SH MonsterArts Godzilla Final Wars figure looks awesome, and my guess it comes out next year. That's sometime mid next year. That's my guess. I don't know when it will actually come, but that's my educated guess right now. We'll see as we get closer to it. The good news is, look, new figures are coming out. Even though we don't have yet too much news on what's going on with the MonsterVerse, we have new figures. That's awesome. That's something that keeps us going, I guess to say, in the light of no news. And I'm sure soon enough we will hear something. We need to hear news on the Singular Point and what's going to happen with that. I know, I think a new mobile game for Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out. I think we are a little sick and tired of mobile games and want an actual console game at this point. And I do think that eventually we should hear something from Legendary about new films and Toho as well. I mean, here's the thing: Toho is not just gonna sit here and wait for Legendary to make a film, right? We know that Toho always likes to, if they can make a film, they will. That's what they did in 2016 with Shin Godzilla. So maybe we'll have to see. But I think, just be patient, and hold on. Godzilla's not going anywhere. I think, even though there's no news or anything, I think Godzilla's not going anywhere. Godzilla will come back. So we'll see new Godzilla films in the future for sure. Probably sooner than we expect. But anyway, that's kind of it for the stream. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for coming. Big G, Gaming Priya, Mario, Garzone. Thank you everyone who came to the stream. I hope it worked okay. I'm still trying out all this stuff. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but hopefully it was cool. And to anyone who's checking this out, like as the VOD on YouTube, hey, like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next stream or in the next video.